Hello everyone. Indonesian village surrounded by forest, known as the village of the dead. This is where I hope to get married. Young, beautiful girl come on because of the boyfriend. In this horrible village, he becomes lost. Evilish devil him, happily doing all sorts of bad things, which makes her beautiful for the rest of her life, but his people. Hunger for blood and meat continues to increase, and that's how he does it. The village people, they continue to bite them, following Satan, but once stood in his way and made 2 boys and girls, one of whom was an already follower of Satan. Another was a strong believer. But at a young age can this believing boy win the fight with Iblis and can save all the villagers to know, see. This newly released Indonesian story, So Go. Let's go straight to the story now, without delay. At the beginning of the story, we are a girl. Ash. Come to us, introducing her boyfriend Karto, take us to our village that day. Come to your mother. She wanted her mom to accept their love relationship, but his mother loves nothing more than him. Don't accept as a wife. She doesn't even give it until she gets up to her own house, which makes you of that village. Accommodation in a forbidden village, promises when she leaves that she will return to Ace, but day after day passes. I'm waiting there alone. Whose name is his mother's favorite part? 2. Marry a girl. As soon as you know it, there reached Ace, who cannot bear to see this. Also, ask questions about this. Who can say nothing to his mother? Rather, sit quietly in front of him. Ace is kicked out of there. I can't bear this pain, which leads him to decide that he will end his life. With a leak in the throat, when death is near, it is in front of him. Comes away, the evils themselves. He opened another door in front of her, and make yourself a follower. In this way we become a prostitute. She makes use of this beauty of hers, makes a lot of money. One day, Carter's mother died, and left Kartik lots of money for his family as a result, of which gets away from them as far as their habitat. They started living in a small house. I already have one day dancing at a bar where Kartu saw him, where she falls on her feet, apologizes to him, ask for a second chance. Azio can't lie to herself here. After all, he still loved cartoons. Whoever believes in the cause catches up to the task again. Cart sees him so far given her she is reading Preslet, that is, from the beginning until now. Carter never forgot. Here's to helping Kartik financially. Take money from him and help him. Take money from him and help him. Sometimes it becomes pregnant. It doesn't go well with 2. Why his wife? Partuio was pregnant for the 2nd time, then she had a daughter before. Now Aki and Partui both give birth to 2 boys. But Ozzy kept her body in business until then. Who you didn't like even after being a kid. He has banned IC many times from doing this. His body is a valuable treasure. What everyone wants, with which he can earn a lot of money. But does this treasure last a lifetime? As time goes on, Asib grows old age. Impression comes on her whole body, and with that comes small eats. As a result, his business was no longer running properly. Pretty girls in front of the brothel, the only thing he saw was jealousy. Her son was disabled from an early age because of being in this bad environment. Boy Pelera almost hit him old Ozzy. Couldn't have protected her even if she tried. Then one day they go to the old man. This time it was so broken. He chooses the path he left many years ago, the way of Satan. She remembers Iblis here. He sacrifices himself for his purpose. That is, he tries to end himself again. Where once again, Iblis comes in and saves him. Iblis is happy with this sacrifice of his, but to get something from Ebony, he has to give something. Iblis here, the man he loves most, which hears, as he says, Kartik hasn't seen him for many days. She doesn't know where she is. The answer is Iblis. He is not talking about Kartik, who was his past. Now she loves her son more than anything, whether that disabled boy that a few days ago an innocent tried to harm the girl in the woods, if not successful in this work. That's where he murdered that girl. This girl was basically Negrome. Negromi was actually the sister of a black witch named Sari. Sori sought help from Iblis after sister's death so that one of his killers suffered a painful death, and that's why Iblis originally wanted to say his son to Asai 1 on the loose. 2 Birds Azio is here to regain his youth and beauty. That's exactly what it does. He goes to his sick son's room and cut her throat and brutally killed her murder while sleeping. This is Not the end of his conviction. She brings up the whole skin of her face and laughing terribly. That night he took that skin to the row house. Going to the queue, she gives a bracelet. The bracelet that belonged to Dr. Fred Man-I just saw it. Realizes that AZ has information about her sister's murder, so she agrees to help Ace. Then he starts doing black magic on Azzy. That's why she gives her son the skin of his face. One new form becomes the old young woman's seat. This time he ran away. Now I have to say that Sari's sister, i.e., who really is Negro's killer, then he opened it, that her disabled boy have seen him do all these businesses since he was a child. He thought that if money, or anything of gold, any girl, found she actually liked Negrom in her mind, so one day in the forest, Negrom with a gold bracelet, trying to get him close, but Negrom then left him and walked away from there. The feds know this. Actually, Negroma used to work at the Fedman's house. This is where the illicit relationship between Negrom and Fedman was formed, which led to Negro becoming pregnant. Batman has told him about garbage many times, but Negrom didn't listen. He would break his world, Fedman for this fear. Here's Assie's sick boy making tools. She tells him if a girl doesn't agree to hit her head, that girl would agree. This is how he forgot he was a Negro at night, fooled and handed over to the old man at that moment. Negrom, when he wants to prevent this immoral act of the elderly, then the stupid old man hit his head and killed him. The old man killed him. Then there was Dr. Fred Man. Oracle has already died. This is why Sari reached for revenge. At Dr. Fedman's house, the Sari became so strong with the help of Ebelis, which also requires him to put his hands up to beat Fedman. No, she kills him horribly with a hand gesture, then he took his revenge. The next morning, a new life begins. He named himself Saruni and went to the same brothel, and wants to renew the old house itself again, since the new owner here with no girls around could recognize this old form of her. This is why maybe that, or a new prostitute who came here to do business. So that lucky guy was chosen that night, who will get the first 12. The richest of these people was Pa Mimi. Whether that everything here before beautiful girl would have been with money, because from now on he will be with Chiruni Iee, so money suffers. A little at night now to understand this youth and beauty. We always had to eat meat and blood. If he is constantly aiming for abolis, he doesn't tell people and his blood don't eat meat with that, then he will return to his old form again. With the flesh and blood of the old man, several days passed by, but within a few days, his appetite grew much higher. The flesh and blood of the old man also run out. That day, he was running around, then she knocked on his door, whose blood smelled like crazy. Money here basically found out how I'm coming. It works its own magic. The magic of form. The magic is enough. If Money comes to her at night, she will show. How does she do that? Money is also quite interested in hearing this. But we knew what the real purpose was. In the absence of blood and flesh, he was slowly going back to his old form. That's why whenever Money comes there that night, then he showed everything he was surrounded by. Takes him to the place and sitting on a chair there. He tied his hand. I couldn't understand anything with my mind. It's time to get into its true form. She cuts the vein in Money's hand and drinks blood from there. Meanwhile, Pak Mimin moves in there, which makes him unable to stay with Money for longer. It does not satisfy his hunger. This is why when she goes to Pak Mimin, he couldn't control himself in anything then, and he would have eaten the blood of Pak Mimin. This is why she tells Pak Mimin to wait there. He goes inside pretending, drink some more blood. At the time, he was suspected, so he went in the direction he was going. When he goes there, he sees Mooney. He sees Ace, who was drinking the blood of Mooney that had accumulated in the bowl. Just watching this, she screamed and called Ace, which led to the attack. At this opportunity, Money overtakes herself and goes out far away. When he went outside, he told everyone about Sarani. The people of the area surrounded his house. You couldn't figure out what to do right now. So he is fast, turn off all the lights in the room. And the King of Darkness began to call upon the devil. Once upon a time, Iblish goes there too. Trust her, she says here, Ace, he will save us. For now, though, to save himself, Ace has to be caught, so let him go out alone on the words of Acio Ebelis, get out. Of yourself with confidence. We're seeing this horrible form of her, no one is left to understand anymore, which is actually me. And he came back with this form of himself by black magic, which led to him becoming this terrible devil. One person was knocked unconscious. His knowledge returned the next morning, where the locals kept him captive in the bamboo cairns. He returned to his old form. The people of the area started throwing stones at him. It was here that Mimi's family decided that, which led to Mimi's death. He will be sentenced to death. He will be killed again. As a result of this decision, one butcher continued to whip him, the pain that Muni could feel from afar. What does that mean? Drinking. The blood of Muni results in none between Muni and 80. We will find out a little later that the connection has been made. For now, Iblis gets close to Ace again, whom no one else could see. Iblis tells Ace here to give him a chance so that Iblis can enter his body. This will save him. ACO gives him permission. This causes Iblis to turn into a wash, and the smoke goes into the body. This is why he becomes Satan. Easily remove your hands. And then the first attack on the butcher, she kills him in the soul. And then they attack everyone, seeing such a situation. The owner of the brothel fled to a room. That room, there was a fool. He was here trying to escape with Muni, but then he notices Mum as if something had happened. He slowly comes in front of her whenever she removes the clothes from Muni's face. That's when he gets scared. Why are you worshipping Satan? As a result of Ash's bite, Muni is turned into a scary zombie, the one who had no control over himself. Here's the woman someone killed, and sunlight drowns. Ozzy comes back to her dorm where Morny comes before her. The mind was very much here on Ace. Because of Assi, she now became a devil worshipper. He had no control over himself. This caused a invite between the two of them, and from this quarrel begins the fight, which is very easy to come by. Iblis only comes in front of him. When Muni finishes, Iblis is here thanks Ace. That's why the number of followers has increased so much. At that moment we see those who have been killed all day, with tomorrow night Miminu, then he turned to Satan. Not in control of the zombies. Everyone here bows to Iblis, and Iblis gets happy with it. This is when the power of faith is lost. Then the devil's whole world. It will be easy for them to bow down. Now the scene changes from here, and we see a girl named Sumi. This was Sumi, and actually the worshipper of Iblis, how to trap Sumi. The devil turned to worship. This is shown in the first part of Imubi, whose story I uploaded a long time ago for those who haven't seen the video. It's easy. Actually, you are Kartu's girl. The one you loved was crazy. Ashi Kartik wouldn't have given time to his family because of laughter. Sumi and her brother, when they were little Carter, then took part in this foreign relationship. It knows, you can decide as soon as you know. Takes that she will leave this house and move to the city with her child who didn't want to leave him. So she drops the perfume in the end, Mary, after he was murdered. She buried her body under the floor of the bedroom. Then he tells the worker. Her mother Naki has fled to the city with her brother for the rest of his life. He is responsible for his mother. Only so Nine Cart was sick and pulled for the rest of his life. This is how the worker at one stage, Iblis, slowly turns him into his own follower. It is a peaceful place in the city. Showing the greed of beautiful life, and her father's hiding tells her the truth. That is, about his mother. Sumi gets so angry when she finds out. He ate his father's rotten puck cooking her, coming to his hotel. Everyone is fed by the people of the village, since he did not know that they are eating human flesh. So his appreciation spread around. Since then, many people have come to his hotel, and the lure of eating special meat. This is why Sumi, in the greed of money, is sitting here committing a great sin. She brought Sari's sister, Nigram's body, from her grave. After his death, the body of Nigram disappeared the day after his death, which is why the Rao was looking for her sister's body, but already his Sumi cooked and fed the whole area. Sari didn't know about that, but Iblis told him, in the house of Sumi, the body of Nigram can be found. When he heard that, the Q came here to Sumi, and when he heard the words on his face, Sumi understood that. What is he talking about? Sumi didn't just kill Nigram. He killed his best friend, as well as his father. He killed his father, the cartoon. Buried in place that would have cut in place many years ago, buried his mother after killing everyone. Sumi originally wanted to leave the village and move to the city, but Sarya Sate, she can't. In the meantime comes their Asio. Asi came looking for her boyfriend, Kartar Sumi. Understands he has that in front of him for which his whole family has been destroyed, for which his father killed his mother. There is nothing left. To understand, Sumi Nigrom's body was taken from the grave. I'm with when she found out her boyfriend Kartik had killed Sumi. Then he got angry at Sumi himself. They were the enemy of one another, and Iblis sitting there making fun of this thing. Ebony is showing them here. Let them not harm themselves. They are enemies of each other. Instead, they shared with each other, the outside enemy must be defeated. Outside the faithful. The neighborhood is their enemy. Those who believe must lose. Iblis was saying these things. Then he heard a voice. When he heard that, Iblis shut up and told Sumi the enemy came to his house. There is no one who believes. Sumi walks out hearing that. He sees a young boy come. The boy came to the village as an alien, since everyone in the village is already asleep and one only the lights in his house. So she came to Sumi's house for tonight's shelter. Sumi calls her in here. Then we came out and sorry, Azy. And sorry, keep asking him Nanavid questions. He questions his faith. Why did he come to this dead village? I want to know about this. The boy, in the north, said. He spreads the light of day among all. When they heard it, they laughed. No one believes in Islam. The boy wasn't afraid because he had faith. See it, Sari brought here for her. Something falls in the water and blows. This water is poisoned. I told that boy too. But the boy is not afraid one bit. Rather than get in the name of God, the white finger dipped in the water. He eats it. There is no harm in doing so. This time he was attacked by Sumi and Asi. That's when they weren't getting along with her. Sorry for attacking her, which causes the boy to fall to the ground. When Sori says to Sumi Abolis isn't here anymore, so she wants revenge on her sister. Only on Sumi. Keep attacking when they were busy. Then he ran into the room, looking for Carter sniffing there. He arrived in that room, where Kartak was buried on the ground. He digs up the ground and brings out Kartu's head, who sees him dead like this. She cries for a while at first, and then he happily ran out with his body. Seeing this thing from his house, Sumio continued to follow him. And Sumi's back is sorry, on the other hand. We see this boy, whether to escape from Sumi's house, went into the forest and fainted at that time to him. And he is a boy of this village whose name is Nor. Save that boy here, done with yourself, and drink water with it. Make some healthy, which way at that time we see that sit down or not. Carter was stitching his head with the body, and was laughing terribly as if he were putting Kartik in a pair again. Here's your body. But his sister Nigrom's body was not recovered. He only gets Nigrom's head in the fridge. He takes it back to Negro's grave. With she promises she won't leave any of all people, those who have eaten Nigrom meet back home and starting to do black magic. The black sheets will cause everyone to vomit blood. Those who did eat the meat of Nigrom, which also contained Sumi. We see really, people in the village are getting sick. They are starting to vomit blood now to help the people of the village. For there was that young boy, whether God gives water to everyone in his name drinking, that was making everyone feel better. Now one can understand from these people. This is everything. The back is down. The Sari Tato went to Sari early that morning. And he says the people of the village are not guilty. They didn't know whose meat they were eating. Sorry to answer, yet he will not leave them, those who knowingly or unknowingly ate the meat, hearing this. The man laughs and says that he couldn't hit anyone. His black magic did not work, because a boy came to this village at a young age to help everyone. Sahari is quite angry when he hears this. Which way do we see the worker to do that? Sitting up from sleep, he sees he has some black sheet stuff. He understands this all lined up to hit him. Then the evil devil came to him and told him, he is a follower in everything. Won't let another follower get murdered. She wants her 3 followers to work together. Listening to what Sumi says, he will never work for Ebelis going to that city. Choose a beautiful life for yourself. But Ebelis keeps provoking him. This says that her father's body has been taken away, that Ozzy who thought her father murdered her mother. Only 9 of them. Again, only a Shreeder in the case of destruction, the devil, was basically provoking Sumi here so that he may turn away from the evil path. Can't be angry. Jealousy causes all this to make him go the wrong way. Then the devil's day and night. At night we come and see who's Sari. Those who were planning to. How will the two of them harm Sumi together? Sari basically wanted revenge and Ashi wanted Sumi's face, the one who cuts his face and sits on his face. She will be beautiful again, so they both got one for killing Sumi. But first, let's ask Sir for help. Originally intended to save Kartik for Sari killed a man, first brings out his heart, and then the black magic puts it in the body of Kartash. Away when he was doing this black magic, someone was asking at the mosque for a long time. And this man was a firefighter at that young age. Sir was suffering from the sound of age and he couldn't do his black magic right. This is why he sends a smoke as a tool for that young boy, so that he could kill the boy at a young age. The mosque is the house of God, which is why the terrible smoke of the devil cannot enter. Who can see the light from the outside in vacation, he came and took refuge in the mosque. Ajahn finishes when he sees her this way. Then he called Noor to pray, so that they can pray for God's protection. This is how they both salute. At the time we fights, Si and Sumi face Sumi wanted his father from Aziz. The mistake he made earlier was to return the body. She doesn't do that. He wanted to bury his father. But AC says that he's her dad. That is, he will live and he will live, which happened to his mother. He wanted to kill the worker. This led to a fight between the two of them, where the firefighter comes to save the worker. Seeing him here scares Ozzy and quickly ran away from there. Sumio saw the fire here and ran away from there. Meanwhile, AC comes and tells Sari everything that she would have killed Sum if the fire didn't come. I'd give him good news. I see who is alive. See him like this. Ozzy got overjoyed and hugged him. Meanwhile, Sari started her black magic. The black sheets destroyed all the crops of the villagers. Everyone is shocked to see this crop destroyed overnight. The man came back to Sir and asked her the reason for this work. Sorry to answer. As a child, he and when the village was hungry, the villagers never looked back. It didn't help them. So, they were both the daughter of a poor mother and a heartless father, which made their fate. So Satan helped him as a child, which is why now he can take revenge on all the rest of the villagers. He has become a heartless man just like his father. The man bows his head when he hears, and we understand this guy is someone else. 9. Rather, the father of the Sari. That whether he left Sari and Negrom alone as a child and married another girl, he bound his new world. Not the day before, but the day before. It was almost to leave the village and move to the city. That's when the fire came to his door. Aguntak introduces himself. Here is this guy. It was actually Ahmed who ran away from home 10 years ago. Ahmed, Yasumi's brother, whether 10 years ago she saw her mother murdered at the hands of her father that night. After watching that, she tries to wake Sumi up, but unless Sumi gets up, he then walked out of the house through the window and running through the forest. This is how to escape. He meets a man in the forest, the man who teaches him food and faith. He grew up with that guy. Now that she realizes how big a mistake she made, not with your sister, so she's back to her sister. Then Sumi says, he grew up with thousands of questions in mind from his childhood. These 10 years, she has suffered a lot. He is alone and no longer needs his friends. And Ahmed lost the row. If you want to spread daylight in this village, Sumi doesn't mind. He only wants to help Ahmed. And that's it. He's her dad. Kartal was trying to get the corpse back from Asi, so he could bury the body for burial. When we see already that body married to Karthik, Asif, and Asif for marrying this, he forced the noodles. Everyone in this village gets married. Noor is scared here. Shake teaching their marriage. Only Kartan Lash 9 is present. It was Kartan's mother's skeleton. I have the body of Asif. Boy Burak with that when he went in front of their bodies and was talking about his own wedding. That's when it goes there me and Ahmed to take their father's body. At this opportunity, Noor escapes from there. Here we come and ask the worker that what's doing with that Aguntik. The workers in the north know this. His brother Ahmed kept smiling and saying what he heard. I mean, they're both her honest boy daughter here. That means they have a whole family. Their grandma is her own son, which is 2 months younger than Ahmed. This is what they say when they see the bodies in front of them. Then they were shocked. Sumi takes a knife out of her pocket in anger, seeing that Ozzy says she needs to learn to be a little patient, like your brother, in the midst of these words. A fight breaks out between them. Outside, they keep fighting with two brothers, sister Asi, which was hiding in the distance. At that moment, a little wounded, Asis rushed to her husband, that is, to Carter. "Who's there, Sumi?" "Purpose says that—" There was no peace with his own father's life. What does he want to do now? Just hearing this? Ahmed was surprised, because he didn't know until then. Her sister made such a big sin, that's when it goes there. Sorry to tell Ahmed that she doesn't know how much her sister is a sinner. Shaking hands with that devil likes Rao, and Asha Sumio is a follower of Ebelis like them both, which I heard, and the boo. Fight between Sumi begins. Ahmed lives here with his sister too. Then we come in the middle. Grabs the row and says, today is her wedding day. There will be no deaths here today. At this opportunity, two brothers and sisters escape into the jungle, where Ahmed wants to know everything to Sumi. You let him know that. He never wanted to kill his father. But Kartik, when he was confessing all his misdeeds to his own face, he couldn't bear his labor. Influenced by the devil, he murdered her. He has committed a great crime. There is no other way for her to come back. So Ahmed let him finish. Who says he keeps requesting? Then I explained to him that God is waiting until the last moment for his wayward slave, so that he may return to the path of faith. Sumi, if up for his misdeeds, God's forgiveness is great. God will forgive him. But Sumit had no such desire. He said he would leave the city the next morning. He still goes back to his house by tonight. He took Ahmed with him. She asked Ahmed to stay in the room outside and walked inside. That's when Ahmed feels something bad. He wants the workers to be careful about it. The worker at the time. The outside door can see something terrible in front. Meanwhile, Ahmed found his dead mother sitting inside the room. Complete with Ahmed, control is gone. We see this brother was doing black magic on him by making a sister doll sorry for the reason Ahmed could see his mother. Sumi could see her father. Only your father 9. Whether he loved her or not. He killed himself. You realize this is all okay, so he screamed and told the Rao to stop these. That's when I grabbed a puppy's throat and keep hitting on the other doll, which makes it hard for Ahmed to breathe. Sumi, on the other hand, falls on the table. Ahmed, I can feel this danger from a distance. At that time, Ahmed regained his strength. She slowly starts to read Ayatollah Kursi, as a result of which Sari's black magic moves on from their two brothers. Sister, Ahmed said to Sumi, they need to get out of here fast. That's when smoke filled everywhere. We see the Sari once again. The two puppies were caught on the smoke of the fire so that they can choke and die. Then the man came there, that is, the father of Sari. That whether his daughter was overwhelmed by this black magic, he kicks everything in the head of anger here and breaks it, and keeps saying that the Rose should not harm anyone anymore. Do this by walking around. He can't control his anger. He killed his father in the head. That's how another terrible night went. The next morning we see two brothers and sisters in the middle of the woods, where Sumit wanted to leave this village, but Ahmed wanted to Sumi to help him fight the devil. But that's when we see the devil has come to Sumi, who could not see Ahmed here. He starts inciting Sumi against Ahmed. Sumi didn't want to listen to all of her, but she can control herself over anything. Ahmed couldn't understand why his sister was fucking, but in the moment we see Sumi has gone in. The year of the devil who attacks the Ahmadis, this fight between two sisters. The devil was having fun watching from afar, but he can no longer keep labor sitting because Ahmed put his hands on his head. He got normal again. He apologizes and says he wants to atone. He wants to help Ahmed in the fight against Ebelis. That's when he feels there's someone hiding and listening to them, whether or not anyone else was more than Noir. He leaves with Noor and Ahmed tied up in front of Asi's house. She keeps calling Ozzy, saying that she brought two to say Satan knew it was a trap. He also warned us about this and said, let's not go outside before it's night, whenever the sun cut. The veins of Ahmed's hand, he can no longer control himself by seeing the blood. Come on, she's running outside, and Ahmed's thirst for blood became crazy. Now Sumi says she gave this to Az instead. Let's protect him from harm. Why not? Sari is always going to do nothing to beat her. This is exactly how you keep trapping your words. Believing him that she's also on their team. This is how he throws Ahmed at her at one point, and then he turned to Ahmed. When the opportunity arose, Ahmed put the knife in his stomach, which makes us weak. Seeing the danger of Asi, the devil comes there. the devil enters the city by washing, and also on Sumi by magic. Sumio comes to his seat. You sit on the devil and attack your brother in the midst of their hands. The knife that Ahmed had fell in front of the light, whoever hides the knife then comes there. Discount, then the entire sky was covered with black magic. The sky is like a black cloud, all the followers of Satan are awake. Those who killed Asim and became followers of Satan. These followers surrounded Ahmed and Noor like jams. Between them they are both completely alone. Amida couldn't fight them alone. Then there is the sound of a sound, which hears all those who are under the control of the devil continue to run away. Ebelis and Asi are coming out of, basically Aussie body was weak and fight with the believer. With a strong body. We needed this opportunity. Ahmed will attack Assad. That's when his father came in the middle, i.e. dead Kartar, lunges to the ground with knife wounds again. Ahmed observes the matter. His sister, who is under the control of the devil, is also running around. He moved in the black smoke of the sky before he could speak. Sunlight spreads around. Then the devil comes forth. She tells Sari to hold the devil in her body. Sorry, he does exactly that. And then the devil came slowly towards Ahmed. Because Muhammad's faith was not so obvious, he can fight the devil. So this time, look forward. Ostad Takif says to Sari, ask God for forgiveness. At the time of his death, when he said this, he shook his head. Meanwhile, Noor and Ahmed sat holding hands. But within moments, Sari takes her hands off and keep moving forward to Noor. The devil inside the Sari began to provoke Noor this time. He says the light has turned away from the path of God long ago. She gave up long before the prayers were offered. On it comes the forbidden countryside again, which is why God is great. Never accept him as a believer. His place is only in hell, so he should end himself. This is how he tried to kill Noor, which attempts to detain Ahmed but can't. Noor here. Whoever ends himself, Ahmed runs to him on the other. Saidostad Takik ejects the devil from inside the Sari, understanding the danger, quickly run away from there. This time, Sumi was normalized. Take a look Ruku here by teaching him, Astaghfirullah, God's forgiveness is great, makes him normal, but there was more to build his faith. Because of this, Ahmed asked Sumi to go with them. You did it right this time too, that he will go on like Ahmed during the day, so he keeps following Ahmed. And then they are two brothers with day lessons from Ostad. Takib's sister got out to help ordinary people, so that no one else falls into the clutches of evil. This is where the story ends today. Hope you like this movie. Those who haven't seen its fast part yet, they can see there.